Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Hosea Johnson. Nice to meet you. I'm really happy to be here. Technology, wow, right? So I'm going to give you a demonstration on this camera and how it works. And I'm going to give you an assignment, and you're going to upload your assignment to wherever Ms. Shola asks you to. We're going to look at it and we're going to discuss it from there. Okay. So, first off, this is really cool. Really glad to be here with you guys. So this is your camera, and this is a digital camera. Back in the day, we called it a 35mm camera, but this is a pretty digital camera, and this is your body of your camera. This part here is the lens, all right, of your camera. This thing you look through is called your viewfinder, all right? And this little button here that I have my finger on right there, can you see it? That little button there, not that one. That little button there is called your shutter release button. And if I was starting out and I just got a brand new camera and I didn't know what to do with it, the first thing I would do is find a dial where you control the actual different modes of the camera and put it on automatic. All right. Automatic is, on my camera, is this green square or rectangle. Okay. And I put it on automatic and just take some pictures. All right. And just take some pictures and you'll see some pictures, and eventually you're going to recognize some numbers. All right. And when I look through my camera, the first number I see is a 60. And on my camera, that's the shutter speed. And the shutter speed tells your camera how long to stay open and let light in. Okay. So right now in automatic, in this particular room that I'm in, my shutter speed, the first number, is a 60th of a second. Now, everybody knows that a 60th of a second is where a human being can hold a camera and things, you don't get a lot of shake. It's like that very, after a 60th of a second, there's a 50th of a second, which is longer, and you might get some shake if you were holding it without a tripod. We'll get into all that stuff later. So basically today you're taking pictures in automatic and you're looking at numbers, right? When you look through here, and some cameras have numbers here on the window, and some cameras have numbers here. This camera has numbers there, it has numbers here, and it has numbers on the inside. All right, so usually that first number is your what? Shutter speed. All right, the second number is your aperture. Your aperture is dealing with your lens. Your aperture is dealing with your lens. Okay, and the aperture is the size of the opening in your lens. All right, so here, that's Shola. Hey Shola, I'm recording. I'll call you back. Hey Shola. All right, so the second number is your aperture. All right, and your aperture is the size of the opening in the lens, and it's letting light through this lens, right? So what else can we say about the aperture? Things you should look up. Look up the word depth of field. Depth of field. DEPTHOFFIELD. That's what your aperture is controlling, as well as the amount of light that is letting into your camera. Okay, so we got the shutter speed. We usually keep our shutter speed at about a 60th of a second for average. The faster your shutter speed is, the more action you're gonna stop, all right? So the slower your shutter speed is, the more motion you're gonna see, okay? And then the third number is the ISO. The ISO is how sensitive the camera is to light. A low ISO is probably, most cameras, about 100. Some cameras 64, some cameras maybe even lower, right? But that would be at 100 or 64. That would be if you were shooting outdoors in bright sunlight. Boom, bright sunlight, ISO 100. Now, if you were shooting, I can see outdoors, that's why I'm looking at that. Now, if you were shooting indoors, this way, shooting into the room, okay, it's a lot darker, and you may want to raise your ISO higher so that your camera is more sensitive to light, okay? So today is class 1, and so far today, we've learned that the shutter speed controls how fast the shutter opens and closes. The aperture controls the size of the opening in the lens and the depth of field. Look that up. And the ISO controls how sensitive the camera is to light. Your assignment is to go around in your beautiful environment and take pictures in automatic and look at the numbers and maybe even write the numbers down of what they are in certain areas. Because in automatic, you'll get the numbers. And those numbers, it's inside of your camera is a light meter. And that's what those numbers are associated with, the light meter, okay? Measuring the amount of light bouncing off the subject, okay? So that's what that's what all those numbers, they all belong to the light meter, okay? What else? Oh, your assignment. Did I give you an assignment? I'm not sure. But the assignment is, and I'm making this up, but yeah, literally to use your camera in automatic and look at those numbers. Okay. Look at those and look at those numbers and start to recognize what those numbers do and what they control. And post these pictures somewhere so we can look at them together and talk about them. And that's about it. I'm really happy. This is really cool. So Shola, thank you, all right, for letting me do this. And you guys, each and every one of them, I hope, one day we're going to meet in person. I'm in New York. I know you guys are in Nigeria. I was there not, like 6 years ago with Shola, but I miss it. So I hope I can get back. Thank you. And I will see you at the next class. I'm looking forward to where do we stop the video.